Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle some of those really common, really persistent errors that can trip up even advanced English learners. Let's get these things solved for good. So, does this sound familiar? You've got a great vocabulary. You can follow pretty much any conversation, but then, out of nowhere, a tiny little mistake with a preposition or the ending of a word just slips out, and it totally undermines your confidence. It's a real thing. It's called the intermediate plateau, and today, we're going to build 5 super clear solutions to help you climb right over it.
All right, let's jump right into our first solution. Now, this is not about memorizing a bunch of boring grammar rules, no way. Instead, I want you to think of yourself as kind of like a word sculptor. You start with one single block of meaning, and from that, you can shape a whole family of really useful words.
So, the technical term for this is word formation. And, the most common slip up here is mixing up the job the word is supposed to be doing. For example, using a word that describes something, an adjective, when what you really need is the name of the thing itself, the noun. It's the difference between saying the sunset was beautiful versus we admired the beauty of the sunset. See the difference? And you can see this pattern so clearly when you lay it out like this. Let's take the root idea of beauty. The noun, which is the thing itself, is beauty. The adjective, the word that describes something, is beautiful. And then the adverb, which tells us how an action that's done, is beautifully, like in she sings beautifully. And look, you see the exact same system for expense and style. It's pretty predictable once you see it. So here's the absolute key takeaway. It's this one simple question. Before you speak, before you write, just pause and ask yourself, what job does this word need to do in my sentence? Do I need a thing, a describing word, or a how word? Seriously, this one little check can fix so many errors before they even happen. Okay, so building on that idea of being precise, let's go after our next target, those super tricky prepositions of time. You know the ones, in, on, and at. I know they can feel kind of random, but I promise you there is a simple logical system. It's all about thinking from big to small. First up, we've got in. Think of in as your biggest container. You use it for these large, general chunks of time that you can't really pinpoint on a clock or a calendar. We're talking entire months, whole years, or seasons. You are in the summer, or in 2026. It's broad. Now we're zooming in a little, getting more specific with on. The key to remembering this one is that you use on for anything you could physically point to on a calendar page. A specific day? That's on Monday. A specific date? That's on March 17th. If it's a day, it's on. Simple as that. And finally, we get to at, which is for the most precise, specific moments. I want you to picture it like a dart hitting the bullseye on a timeline. It's for exact clock times, like at 5 p.m., or very specific moments like at midnight. So just remember that pyramid. In for the big stuff, on for the days, and at for the exact point in time.
Okay, let's talk about vocabulary precision. I know that in a lot of languages, there might just be one word that covers all your clothes. But in English, we've got a few really common words that get confused all the time, but each one has a very specific job. Let's clear them up right now.
First, a suit. A suit is a matching set of clothes, and it's almost always a jacket with either trousers or a skirt. The main idea here, the keyword you need to remember, is formality. You wear a suit to a job interview, a wedding, a formal event. Next up is costume. Now, the crucial idea for this one is representation. A costume is what you wear when you are representing something else. Think about it. An actor in a play, a character for Halloween, or even the traditional dress of a country. You're basically playing a role. And finally, we have the most useful and general word of the three, outfit. An outfit is just any combination of clothes you decide to put together. I mean, what you're wearing right this second, that's your outfit. It can be casual, it can be formal, sporty, whatever. It's your go-to everyday word. All right, time to tackle a grammar classic, the present simple versus the present continuous. This one really just boils down to understanding the difference between something that is a permanent habit versus something that's just happening for a little while. This slide here just lays it all out perfectly. Over on the left, you've got the present simple. We use that for habits, for routines, things that are always true, like I practice yoga every Tuesday. Then, on the right, we've got the present continuous, and that's for temporary actions, like I am working on a new project this week. The signal words you see here, things like every day versus this week, those are your best clues for which one to use. But, and this is a big but, Here's the big warning sign. Some verbs don't actually describe actions, they describe states of being or thinking or feeling. We call them stative verbs. I mean, you can't really see someone knowing something, right? And because these aren't actions, we almost never use them with that ing continuous form. You just say, I understand, never, I am understanding.
Okay, for our final solution, let's put all this precision to work in a really practical skill, reading efficiently, especially when you're under pressure in a test like the IELTS. This is really where accuracy meets strategy.
You really just need two main techniques in your back pocket. The first one is skimming. That's when you read quickly just to get the main idea, the general gist of what you're looking at. Think of it like watching a movie trailer. The second is scanning. This is totally different. You're not really reading at all, you're hunting. Your eyes are just moving super quickly over the page, looking for one specific piece of information, like a name or a date or a number. And here is a 6-step battle plan to put those skills into practice. Now listen, the most important step here is the very first one. Read the questions first. I'm serious. This one move immediately turns you from a passive reader into an active detective because you know exactly what clues you're looking for before you even start reading the main text. It's a game changer. So there you have it. 5 clear, actionable solutions that basically form your new English accuracy toolkit. You now know how to shape your words, how to map your time, how to choose vocabulary with precision, get your tenses right, and read with a clearer purpose. These are the very tools that are going to help you move right past that plateau. Now, the real work begins. Knowledge is great, but it's action that really creates progress. So, looking back at our new toolkit, what's your first target? Which one of these common mistakes are you going to focus on and just eliminate from your English starting today?